our big responsibility is to know what do we have in our estate, which can be extraordinarily difficult by itself, and then whether or not those things matter. So you have to be able to understand what does your estate look like, and you have to know what are the important parts of your estate. That's generally the key factors that operations takes. And that's sort of where Tachyon can also help in knowing not just what you have in your estate, like a massive inventory list that may or may not be up to date, but also what do you have in your estate at an exact moment in time. Well, there were some big efforts we had going on around migrations, right? So we were concerned about moving data from one place to another place. And one of the reasons Tachyon was necessary was this kind of transfer required a great deal of coordination, both from the client side and the back end. This meant updating processes on the back end right after you update things on the front end. So without near instant communication, it's very difficult to do things like that. I mean, we had tried to do it in the past with tools like SCCM task sequences or certain batch jobs or scripting or things. And you could do it, but you never really knew the state of the machine at the moment you did the execution. It was almost impossible. And so if you have to make an adjustment to the machine, send back a message that says, we've adjusted the machine, do something on the back end, then ask the client device to once again go through another step in the process. It's very hard to do that unless you have instant and constant access to the client device. And for us, in addition to that, we needed to be able to have, let's say, RESTful API access to the system that we were doing those connections with. And one of the benefits of Tachyon is that everything it does is exposed through RESTful APIs, which means that if you're working in a DevOps world or you're working on development products, it's critically important to be able to have back-end connection to the tool so that we can make all of that stuff work end-to-end. We're looking at how we can use it in order to enable legacy protocols on devices when users need them and not necessarily all the time. So the idea is, of course, that a legacy protocol is a risk to your environment, right? When you have it on the machine, it means that bad actors can get into that device. But if you only turn on that protocol when you need it for the kinds of connection you need, at least until you can retire your legacy infrastructure, it really reduces the attack vector. We're going to be using ServiceNow for all of our end-to-end management through incident, problem, change, all the ITOM processes, and even beyond that to integrate with some of the business processes. Yeah, the hope is that Tachyon, of course, will enhance the abilities of service desk operators. It'll give them the ability to do things they couldn't do before without necessarily having to escalate to second or third level support. That's sort of the dream that people have of shifting left, right? Of moving your support from high-level actors to lower-level actors and getting really incidents resolved faster, which is the key goal, right? But there's also a big gain for the end users when they can call out, make an incident, and solve the incident right there instead of having to go through an escalation.